not sure what channel I'm going to put this on. It might be both. It might be one or the other. I'm not 100% sure, so I will do this. It is I, Coach J, also known as your resident, or also known as Juaitan Robinson, your resident coach, mentor. Good gracious, have you done just that? Speaker, active blogger, vlogger, podcaster, course creator, and published author. And welcome to another day in the daily life of Jay. I'm headed to work, headed to that 9 to 5, or in my case 8 to 5, to try to finish out the last 2 days of this week. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Today is January 2nd of 2020. 2020. It is a brand new year, a brand new decade, a brand new opportunity. Just as every day is a brand new opportunity, today, this year, is a brand new opportunity. I have been trying to hear from God on a couple of things lately, and I've not heard anything yet. And it's not because he's not speaking, it's because I haven't been silent enough to hear him. But I will say this, I've been very reflective over the last year, 2019. I've been very reflective over that last year. And if I'm honest with myself and honest with you all, there are some things in that year that I did not accomplish that I wanted to accomplish, and I could be really very negative about them and really very down on myself about those things if I chose to be, but I've decided that that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be negative about it. I'm not going to beat myself up about it, because in all honesty, I did as much as I could do with what was given to me, with the time that was presented to me, the opportunity that was presented to me, or opportunities, the resources that I had available to me. I did what I could with what I had, and I hope that that is a word of encouragement for those who are in the midst of reflecting on the last year and what they did not get accomplished. Unless you just sat on your butt doing absolutely nothing, even though you knew that there were things that you should do, unless that is the case, do not beat yourself up about not getting things, all of the things accomplished. Don't damage your psyche, your self-esteem, because you did not get accomplished all of the things that you wanted to get accomplished. Know that you did what you could with what you had, and be proud of that. Be excited about those things that you did get accomplished. Don't minimize or diminish those things that you did get accomplished, because it could have been so much worse. You could have sat and did nothing. I'm seeing something right now and it's pulling me to it, and I don't want to stop what I'm doing to do that, because I know I will have another opportunity. I do this weird thing with license plates, but that's a topic for another conversation. I'll talk about that another time. But I do this weird thing with license plates. But again, don't beat yourself up about not getting accomplished all of the things that you felt like you should have gotten accomplished in the last 365 days. That's one of the reasons why I don't do resolutions, because resolutions, even though it is something that we have decided that we're going to do, firmly decided that we're going to do, it does not mean that we're going to get that thing accomplished. And we make all of these resolutions, these resolves at the beginning of the year that we're going to get, in our head, we're going to get them accomplished, not taking into consideration the things that may happen around all of this resolve that we make, all of these resolutions that we make, and that things can hinder us. So we break those resolutions. I don't make resolutions. I set goals for my life, both ideal and far-reaching. So I have some that are very easy for me to accomplish, and I have some that are a little bit more difficult for me to accomplish. Those that are easy for me to accomplish, I tend to get those done and out of the way as soon as possible, so that they can be finished and I can concentrate on the things that are more difficult. And I get as many of those things that are more difficult accomplished as possible, or I get as far as I can with them until the next piece makes itself available. So I don't make resolutions. I set goals for myself. And then if I don't get those goals accomplished, okay, are you moving, truck? What are you doing? If I don't get those goals accomplished, if I don't achieve the things that I have set up for myself, I don't beat myself up about it. Now, once upon a time, I used to. Once upon a time, it was what I did. I would be so down on myself and I would beat myself up because I didn't get this or that or the other done. When in actuality, what I needed to do was focus on the things that I did get accomplished and feel good about the things that I did get accomplished. And then work on getting the other things done. Examining those things and figuring out what it is that I need in order to get them finished. Whether it was resources or whether it was an additional person, whatever the case may be, whether it was more time, whatever the case may be, I would take the time to re-examine them and figure out what it is that I needed to do, or what else was needed to get it accomplished. And I moved from there. And that kept me from being depressed at the beginning of the year. So if that is where you are right now, I pray in this moment right now that you will appreciate the things that you did get accomplished and work on those things that you did not. And for those who did sit on their butts all year long, knowing that they had things that needed to be done and they did not do them, I pray that you are bitten in the butt to the point where you jump up and get moving. Because we all have a purpose. God has a plan for your life. And I love the scripture where it says that his word will not return to him void. And it won't return to him void. If you don't do what it is that he has called you to do, if you don't do what it is that he has called you to do, then it's not necessarily that word is not necessarily going to return to him void. That plan, that purpose that he has placed inside of you will not necessarily return to him void. The things that he has spoken over you before you were conceived will not necessarily return to him void, because the beautiful thing about our God is he created so many of us. So if you don't do it, then he has his pick of the litter. He can choose someone else to do that thing. The problem is with you not getting up and doing what it is that you have been called to do, is that the people that you the people that you could have reached or should have reached in you doing it may not be reached because you did not do it. You have to remember that thing that God has planted on the inside of you is not just for you. That thing that he planted on the inside of you, that seed, that purpose, that plan, that idea that he planted on the inside of you was not just for you. It was also for others that he wants to do things with as well. It may have been for that single mother that needs to feel encouraged in the midst of raising 5 children on her own, and she's ready to give up. But God has said, you have the ability to show her that it's okay to persevere, that her help is coming, that all she has to do is turn to and trust on God, and he will see her through, and that the resources that she needs will make themselves available to her if she turns left, or if she calls this person, or if she goes down this street. You may be able to do that for her, but because you sat on your butt doing absolutely nothing, it may take her longer to get to where it is that she's supposed to go, because she didn't have you to pour into her. So remember that whatever it is, again, whatever it is that God has planted in you, whatever purpose he has given you, it is not just for you. So while I do not make resolutions, I do set goals, and I'm working on my goals already. I have some things in my head that I need to get on paper so that I can see them and get moving in them. And again, some things are already in the works because they carried over from last year. So I just need to sit down, and today was one of the days that I will sit down and start working on some of those things. But I'll do another video on something that was a revelation to me last night as I was listening to our New Year's Eve service. We have joined a church here finally in the good old DFW Metroplex area, and if I remember, I will do another video on something that I noticed that I was given a revelation on last night. And just a little hint here. One of the things that has annoyed me tremendously throughout my spiritual growth in the church house is when the minister says, touch your neighbor or tell your neighbor. That is something that has tremendously annoyed me throughout my growth. And a revelation came to me last night about why, those two things are necessary, the touching your neighbor and the telling your neighbor. And if I remember, I will record that video on my way home tonight. And then there'll be 2 videos that I need to get edited and up. So I am at work. I need to get in here. It is 7:45, and I would like to have my breakfast before my actual work day starts. So peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose and know that I appreciate you.